So good evening and welcome back to KCC, or welcome for the first time.
Welcome back to you.
Yeah. Welcome back to me. Yeah. Thank you. I've been gone for a month to a very lovely retreat, which was good for the mind, up in the quiet, snowy mountains of Northeast Washington. With my teacher, Tibetan children, and 14 monastics, and 7 lay people. So it was quiet and industrious and wonderful. And I'm very happy to be back and see you. So for the people on streaming who may be new, or anyone here new, my name is Zopa, and this is Bill and Dora, and we're associate teachers here at KCC. And we're very happy to see you and have you join in. So we will follow the KCC regular schedule, which is we'll do about 50 minutes of shine, or calm abiding, it's called, with some guidance. Try and get our hearts and minds peaceful for the benefit of ourselves and others. And then we'll have a tea break for about 15 minutes, and then for those who can stay, and we hope you can all stay, we'll have a Dharma discussion, focusing in particular, how do we bring these Dharma principles and practices into our very own lives, our very busy lives. So, as the Dalai Lama often says, we know something very, very intimate and very important about all beings. We already know it. And it's quite good to acknowledge that we know it. We forget it. So what is it? It's that every single being, humans, animals, and the teachings are there are beings we don't see at our level, but you don't need to bother with that if it isn't your cup of tea. But at any rate, further than our minds can cast themselves, every being, you won't find one who is not this way. Every being wants happiness. Every being wants a deep, lasting peace. This is true of people who we know and love. It's true of the vast amount of strangers. At least in this life, we label them strangers. And it's true of those that we label difficult or enemy or simply a person I never want to be around. Each and every one of us want happiness, this lasting, peaceful, calm heart and mind. And it's also true as long as we're within what's called cyclic existence, that is, a mind that still suffers from craving, desire, aversion, dislike. We don't have that happiness. And this is true of all these other beings too. So this can really help lead us to a bodhicitta heart. Just looking at that, just take any one individual in your life, friend, family, enemy, stranger, and just look at that about them. Just as deeply as I want happiness, they do too. And just like I try for it and I don't get it, that's also their experience. So, what to do? Well, one of the things to do is to recognize our capacity, our Buddha nature. We can have this happiness. We can end our own suffering. This is one of the first teachings of the Buddha. There is an end to suffering, and there's a path to that end. And then, of course, there's 84,000 teachings, which can be a bit daunting. But we really only need to find the one that works for us, or the two, or the three that work for us, and then do it consistently. And one of the very first things the Buddha taught, he said, when my monks are breathing in, they know they're breathing in. When my monks are breathing out, they know they're breathing out. That sounds very simple, but I don't know about you, but most of the day, I don't pay any attention to that. I'm thinking of 10,000 things, most of which will just get me into more suffering. So we begin right there with this body, this mind, to start where we are. Be happy to start where we are. And come right now to your body. Check it out. Lately, I've been being very graphic with it, partly from the effect of the retreat, that what's sitting here, called a set of aggregates, meaning it's agglomerated together aggregates, is bone, skin, muscle, blood, hair, teeth, nails, eyes, organs. That's what's here. Good, we'll use that. It's always changing, never static. Not one iota, not one particle, space, non-particle in it is unchanging. And we can check in with our mind, thoughts. No matter what we do to try and hold a thought, nail it down, obsess on it, it doesn't stay. That's not its nature. We never have the same thought twice. Every time, every moment is fresh and new. Here, gone, never coming again. Fine, good to know that. When we check in with our sensations, feelings, the hardness of the cushion or the softness, the temperature, the air surrounding us. All the senses giving some kind of input. Sound, touch, smell, taste, sight. Nothing there to grab onto or push away. So it's quite good, as most of you know, to find a focus in all this for your calm abiding. An anchor, something you'll come back to even though there's no coming back. Most often it's the breath or a visualization of the Buddha, but anything can work. Then, coming to that with no conceptualization about it, but rather the actual experience. No two breaths are alike. Noting what occurs when the breath ends is good. Noting what occurs when a new breath starts. And then noting, I've lost the experience. Relaxing about that. And then attention back, the attention to the next breath. So we'll continue like this for the next 30 or so minutes. Just notice when we're off the experience and come back. Try short, rather an intense but relaxed focus. And then really loosen the focus. And just continue on like this. We'll do a couple breaks with a little knocker. So enjoy your meditation and do it for the benefit of countless beings and trust that it will benefit them. Now check up. Are you on the object? No judgment. If you're not, bring yourself there gently, precisely, happily, and then relax for a minute and stretch if you need. And happily come back to the object. Happy that you can do that and you have the capacity to place our minds. We can do that. Gently check in. Bring the focus to the object. Be happy you can do that. You can place your mind where you intend it to be. And relax. Stretch if you need. this virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state. Thank you. And being in transition, I think I forgot to do the opening prayer. But I talked about it, as in set your bodhicitta motivation. But I'm just back, so new, so part of my mind is somewhere in a different monastery. All good. So. Huh?
Always something new.
Yes, every moment. Hopefully you noticed and took your refuge, and even if you didn't, if you engaged the way it seemed people were, you were doing it. So thank you for your efforts. We have a couple of announcements. Just thinking timeline-wise. Of course, every Wednesday we have our Chenrezig practice here, so you're welcome to join that. And this Thursday will be mind training with Tim Campbell and I, and the group of hardy people that show up over and over. And we're engaging a new mind training text called The Wheel of Sharp Weapons, with a commentary by Geshe Zopa, which is totally fantastic and shreds the self-centeredness to pieces. And then Saturday from 9 to 3, this very Saturday, I'll be leading teaching, discussion, contemplation, meditation together. It's pretty much an exploration of a very short text, which is all right there. If you register, the whole text is there. It's 2.5 pages, called The Three Principal Aspects of the Path. So it's a focus on the determination to be free from suffering, bodhicitta, and the concept of emptiness, the experience of emptiness from a Gelugpa prism. I, this morning, confirmed with Bill that after I talk and we contemplate on the Gelugpa approach to dependent arising, Bill will share the Kagyu approach, so it'll be a nice getting more clarification. Both of them lead to full awakening, but how do they differ in how they go there? So I'm looking forward to that exploration. And if you can't make it Saturday, you can register online now. But if you cannot make it Saturday, then it will be streamed, I assume, right, Linda? And okay, and so it'll be on our YouTube site. And then we have some big news.
We should talk about Jeff and Sally first, as long as we're on the...
Talk about that. I'm a little bit out of the loop, so only coming back bits of time.
In April, Jeff and Sally are going to return in on Monday evenings. They'll be leading some sessions. I think it's 5 Monday evenings, 5 in a row, on the care and feeding of your daily practice. And this is an opportunity to explore all the nitty-gritty nuts and bolts challenges of trying to maintain a steady practice through our lives, both on the cushion and off the cushion. And people seem to enjoy it quite a bit when they ran this before. So there's some new dimensions for them to explore this year, and so we're looking forward to that.
Okay.
And the big news.
Big news.
As you probably have absorbed, sometime in June, the 3-year retreat will wrap up. And as part of the preparations for that, Lama Michael has made some inquiries about how that might be celebrated. And one thing he did was send an invitation to Khenpo Lodro Dönya Rinpoche, who was just here last June, and thinking that it would be very wonderful if he came, but virtually impossible for him to part the waters twice within the space of about a year. Still, the invitation was sent, and at first the response was as we thought. Very sorry, but just too many things to do. But after a bit of contemplation, Khenpo Lodro Dönya Rinpoche thought that actually, given all the circumstances coming together, that it would be important for him to come and be part of the opening of the completion of this retreat. And there are a number of pieces behind that, one of which is you can go back into just the history of how the center has evolved and how we relied on Bokar Rinpoche for many years, and developed a close relationship with him, with a number of us traveling to India, and at the same time getting to know Khenpo Lodro Dönya Rinpoche and seeing his qualities. And along the way, as we were determining what to do, we were discussing whether or not to go first forward with an urban center or with retreat in retreat land. And with some discussion, then Bokar Rinpoche gave his blessing that we should in fact go ahead with retreat land. So we started in on that project, but he passed away in 2004, several years into that. But as we kept up with the project, even though he'd passed away, it's important to fulfill the activity and the projects that you're working on, to fulfill the wishes of your teachers, because that's the way that the Dharma actually spreads beyond just one personal agenda, you could say, one personal approach. So now, after these many years, we started the retreat land at about 2001. So 2001 to 2018, longer than many people spend in their entire time in school. Yeah, Buddhist Odyssey. Yeah, it really was. The Iliad and the Odyssey all together. But with this all coming together, it's a very kind of incredibly pivotal moment. And Khenpo Rinpoche said that this was okay. He would part the waters and change schedules and do other things. So that's quite amazing.
Really cool.
It really is quite amazing that just to have that kind of clarity of, from the other side of this globe, for somebody to say, yes, I'm seeing this, I'm feeling this. This is important. And he's a very, very busy person with incredible responsibilities. So it's remarkable that he's doing this. This, however, since it's no longer like, it's almost gone from flipping calendar pages to when this will happen to looking at your watch and say, oh my goodness, that's just about to happen. So this means that there will be many things to do, and this is an opportunity for people to take part and play a role, whether it's in, whether the skills are in organizing or in taking care of transportation, or just willingness to set up tables and chairs at the right moment in the right place. We'll have things happening here. There'll be some teachings here, as well as teachings out at the retreat land at the time of the when the retreat is opened. So there will be a lot to do, and I think of the main organizing type people, Linda Grove right there, and I saw people were already starting to put their names on lists to help, and I really hope that people can find time to be part of this. It's a wonderful thing, and as Michael was talking this morning, I was thinking back to when Dora and I first came to Portland. Within a couple of months, about the same sort of start time from now until when the retreat opened, we arrived, and then His Holiness the 16th Karmapa visited. And there were, at that time, the number of people actively involved in the center was maybe like this group minus 2. That was sort of the total number. And somehow we managed, as rank amateurs, but with the great guidance of Lama Tinley Drupa, we managed to pull that off. Not really thinking that it was more or less like having the Dalai Lama. That was kind of the order of amazingness of it. But we did it in our naivete. So perhaps with a combination of our naivete and enthusiasm and our skills over the years, that this will come together very nicely and will be an opportunity for us to enjoy putting something remarkable together. So, do you have anything to add?
Yeah.
Sign-up sheets in the back.
Sign-up sheets. It's good. When in June? Okay.
We wish we knew.
We wish we knew. So far, the announcement, the draft announcement so far, it says June the blank, and I'm hoping that the month actually stays June as opposed to June-ish the something. But it will. It might be. I don't know when in June, but we should know soon, and it could be the latter part of June if that center of gravity still holds, but that could be moved around a little bit.
To be announced.
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing, which maybe goes without saying, but to do any part of service for such a being as Khenpo Lodro Donyo, and for the people who've put in 3+ years, carries incredible potential, positive potential. So even you lift a chair, you sweep a floor, you don't know where that is leading your mind. It's really something to be of service to that. So we'll enjoy and we'll make it happen. It'll be fantastically joyful and mysterious. Okay, any other announcements or questions, or we can have tea time and Q&A. Okay, enjoy.